Okay, we're gonna get started. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Find a comfortable place to sit. I recommend sitting on a block or a blanket or pillow. Give yourself a little bit of a prop up in your seat so you can sit up nice and tall and comfortable. Take as much time as you need to find a sustainable seat for yourself. Um, I don't think that the playlist made it in there, but if you have the playlist from last time, we're just using the old playlist. Um, and hopefully it'll get thrown in the chat soon. Or if you have another favorite playlist, that's okay too. You can use that. You can go ahead and start that now. Find your comfortable seat, close your eyes, and start to breathe. So I wanted to talk today in class a little bit about like opposing sides of things, how we perceive things as opposites, but in truth, in our experience of them, those opposites often work together to strengthen each other. And that can get like really metaphysical or like philosophical, really abstract. And that's fine. Like all of those things are great to think about. But today in practice, we're going to really work to physically experience that in the body. So we're going to get like really literal with that. And we're going to start with the breath. So again, try to keep your eyes closed. Just listen. Take a deep breath in through your nose, all the way up, take in a little bit more air. Feel your heart lift open. Keep the heart lifted, and then exhale all the way out, all the way. Press it out even more. And then inhale again. So your inhale brings the lift of the heart. It grows your spine taller. You keep that lift, and that helps expand your exhale downward. You keep that energy grounding downward as you start to lift on the inhale again. So already you're feeling this back and forth, this up and down, push and pull. This is not something new. It's not something groundbreaking. I know many of you have explored this in your practice. But if it is newer for you, if it does feel like a little foreign, or it sounds like some hooey, like new age bullshit to you, like just pretend with me, like imagine energy going down, drawing down, and your inhale lifts and extends that internal column up. So if it makes less sense to you, like get more imaginative with it, even if you don't feel it yet. You have 5 more breaths like that on your own. Add a little gentle leaning back through the back of your body, through the back of your heart. Just gentle. On your next inhale, softly open your eyes. Gaze slightly forward. We'll start to open up the side body, the shoulders, and the arms. So take your right arm forward, palm faces up. You reach the arm forward and then hug the shoulder blade down the back. So already that's a push and pull, right? You reach forward, hug the shoulder blade down the back. The arm is still extended, nice and long. Bend the elbow. Left hand comes to the elbow. You lift the arm up. And then the opposite I want you to explore here is the lift that like naturally comes through the heart as you reach that elbow up, try and balance that by hugging the low ribs in. So that's your back and forth here. Can the low ribs drawing in encourage the heart to really lift up even more and encourage the length of this long line of energy opening. Take 2 more breaths. Exhale to release, and we'll take the other side. Left arm extends forward, reach, and then hug the shoulder blade down the back. Bend the elbow, right hand to the elbow, push it in, lift up. So give yourself a moment to like give into the shape first, and then draw some of that balance back in. Low ribs draw in, you feel your core, and you have 3 deep breaths. In and out through the nose. Exhale to release. Take both arms out in front of you, palms together, fingers touch. Bend the elbows. And just notice, like try to keep your arms right in line with the shoulders. They're not too narrow, they're not too wide. And right when you're there, this is all gonna stay on one plane. So no like moving the hands forward, no moving them back. They stay together. You lift the elbows up straight up over the heads. And then once again, you like give yourself a moment as you lift the heart, the ribs come forward, and then draw the low ribs in with your exhale. Continue to breathe and lift up through the heart. Exhale continues to draw the low ribs in and down. There's a little bit of upward pressure through this entire forearm and back of the wrist. 2 more, big breath. Inhale. Exhale, release. Come forward, find hands and knees, table pose. Stacking wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. I'm not going to demo everything today. I will demo some things. You can take cat-cows here. You can circle the hips, move side to side, move with your breath. But I've already done a lot of yoga today, so I'm already tired. I'm going to conserve my energy and focus on teaching. Really make sure that you are stacked nice and evenly. Yeah, so again, like hands sometimes want to come wider than your shoulders. They stay right under shoulders, knees right under hips. And we'll all meet in a neutral table pose. On your inhale, extend your right leg straight back with the toes down on the ground. Give yourself a moment to lean into the heel. Find that nice calf stretch. So as you're rocking back and forth, the hips are moving. Settle them right over the left knee again. And then inhale, lift the heel, even with the hip. Keep breathing. In and out through the nose. If this is enough intensity for you, like if you're already feeling like a lot of pressure in your breath, you stay here. If you need more intensity, the left arm comes forward. Keep breathing in and out, and try and feel a push and pull. So first we want extension. Press back through the heel, lengthen the left arm forward, feel that reaching outward, and then without changing the shape, you hug the limbs in. So almost as if somebody was coming behind you and pressing the heel forward, you feel the leg pull into the hip. Now try both. Expand, hug in, expand, hug in. And then try and feel both with your breath, in and out. Low ribs draw in, support the back body with the front. You have 3 more breaths. Find movement in the breath, stillness in the pose. Now place the left hand down, step the right foot forward between the hands. Blocks are here for your support as you need them. Long stance. Yes, so scooch the right foot forward so you can lean the hips a little bit forward. And then you're gonna take the hands down to the ground. Blocks are still there if that's better for you, but get your right armpit around your right knee. Like press the knee into the armpit. It's really good for the lymph nodes. So the whole side body, the heart, the chest, the rib cage, all the way up to the armpit is pressing into the right leg. You want to keep that the whole time. We're going to shift the hips back. Take a half split so the right toes lift up. Just for a breath. Then we inhale, come back. Still connected, torso to right leg. Exhale, draw it back. You have 3 more. Move with your breath. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So we're pushing and pulling on this hamstring to create length and strength, right? So you come back into the shape. We're going to stay here this time. Now, try and pull the hamstring towards the knee and down towards the heel. So you're hugging in through here. And if that's too complicated, just imagine it like magical fairy energy. I promise it's real. That will get the right leg really heavy and solid. From there, you inhale, lift the arms, Anjaneyasana. Back foot is really strong. Press down through the top of the toes behind you. You're breathing here. If this is enough for your mind to focus on, then just stay right here. Hug the legs together, lift up through the heart. If you want to add the arm variation, palms come together, bend the elbows, press the hand into the back of the head, lean the heart back and lift up through the heart. 2 more breaths. Deep breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Place the hands, step back. First down dog of class. You can walk it out. You can heel toe the feet. You can lean side to side, or you can find stillness. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Lower to hands and knees, table pose. And we'll start with the calf stretch on the left side. Left leg extends. Lean into the heel, back and forth a few times. And then on your inhale, you lift the leg. Heel in line with the hip. And you choose. It doesn't have to be the same as the side before. If you want more intensity, you lift the right arm. Otherwise, it stays down. Keep breathing. Now work to find that extension outward. Press really strong through the heel, like you could kick the wall behind you. Reach through the fingertips forward. And then as you keep the limbs extended, simultaneously find that hug in. Low ribs draw in, core draws in towards the back body. And then find both with your breath. You have 3 more. In and out through the nose. Soften the jaw, soften the face. And then as slowly as you can, step the left foot forward between your hands. We'll set up for that Anjaney, starting back and forth with the half splits. So first, the knee comes into the armpit. So this whole side body is pressing on the left thigh. Take an inhale first here, and then keep that connection as you exhale. Draw the hip back, the toes lift. Inhale to come forward. You have 4 more, 5 total. Exhale, draw the hips back. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So like we can get really overwhelmed with one side of things, with one extreme. Can we see that the other side is there to bring balance to it? After your 5th one, you come forward and then you work the hamstring. Yeah? Hug the hamstring in towards the knee, press down through the heel. And from there, you inhale, lift the arms. Back leg is super strong. That's your anchor behind you. Hug the legs together and you choose. You stay right here or bring the palms together, bend the elbows, Lean the head back into the arms, lean back through the heart, and lift up. 3 full rounds of breath. Exhale, lower the hands, step back, downward facing dog. If you'd like a vinyasa, a chaturanga, you can add that in here. Cleansing breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Rise to the toes, look forward between your hands. Make your way forward to the front of your mat. Hop, step, float. When you get there, you inhale, lift halfway up, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold. Root to rise. Inhale, come all the way up. Circle, sweep the arms high. Exhale, hands come through the heart. Find your standing pose. Feet can be hips width or toes together, heels apart. Palms face forward. Breathe. Now find a little softness in the knees. That'll help find some pressure through the feet. So let's rock the weight forward with a little softness in the knees. Rock the weight back and forth through the heels. And then when the next time you press the heels down, press them a little stronger. And from there, lift up through the heart. And feel how that downward pressure helps propel the heart upward. Inhale, circle the arms high. From here, we're going to take that arm variation. I'm just coming down to my knees so you can see. Bend the elbows. Head leans back into the hands, and we'll take a side bend from here. So inhale, lengthen the heart. Side bend to the right. I don't know that I've ever taken a side bend on my knees. What a strange feeling. Keep leaning back into the heart, opening up towards the left. Inhale through center. Exhale to the other side. Low ribs are still drawing in. Still find that balance here. Inhale up through center. Reach the arms high. Exhale, fold forward all the way down. Hinge at the hips. Inhale, lengthen, halfway up. And from here, we'll step the left foot back. Setting up for crescent pose, but take a moment first. So keep the arms down. Scooch the left toes further back than you want them to be. Yeah, we all try and shy away from that, especially when we're at home. Heel is right over the toes. And once again, activate that front hamstring. So the hamstring goes towards the knee and down into the heel. Super strong. From there, inhale, lift the arms high. 3 rounds of breath. Find expansion through the legs. You're pressing outward as much as you're hugging in. Both are happening at once. Usually one is more what we need in a moment. So play with both. Now from here, lift the arms up if they're not already. Press into the right foot and straighten the leg. Exhale, slowly start to hinge forward as you press the sit bones back. Lengthen the heart forward. Hands can come down to blocks or the ground. Once again, pushing outward. Try and push the feet through the floor and then hug up from the floor, like you're pulling energy up into the hips. Play with both. See what creates more space, more length, more breath for you. And let the head hang if it's not already. You guys are doing great. I can feel it. Inhale, lengthen the heart. Lift halfway up. Big step forward to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway up. You have 3 of these half lifts. Exhale, fold. 2 more. Inhale, halfway up. Heart forward, zip bones back. Exhale, fold. Last one, halfway up. And we'll take the other side from here. Right foot steps back. Set up for your crescent pose. Scooch the toes further back than you'd like. And then activate the front hamstring. So hug the hamstring into the knee, down towards the heel. That anchors you down to inhale and lift up to your pose. Arms are high. Breathe. Now you work that inward, outward, back and forth action. And if it's really hard for you to conceptualize, like pretend like you're like a cartoon character. Like there's like sparkly energy moving through your body with your breath. Just play along, just chat. From your crescent pose, heart is lifted, arms are high. Inhale, press into the left foot, straighten that leg, lengthen the heart forward as you pull the sit bones back. Back heel is still lifted in this variation here. Hands to the floor or blocks. Blocks are nice and supportive. Lengthen out, exhale, fold. Take 2 more. Big full breaths. Press out through the feet. Hug in through the legs. Both. Now we're going to add on from here. So from here we're coming into warrior 2. So bend your front knee, plant the back heel down. So your toes are facing 2 opposite directions. Windmill the arms up. Now, most of us, when we get into our warrior 2, we look like this, especially when we're at home and not in a public class. So just challenge yourself. Like you need to work a little harder to find that edge for yourself alone in your home. Work the back leg further back, lengthen it out. Try to get this front leg closer to 90 degrees. And that like amps up the intensity so quickly, right? Like we're all of a sudden shaking. Work that action of the legs to find a way to direct that energy. So first, let's try pushing outward. Like imagine you could rip your mat apart. Toes are working to rip the mat apart. Heels are working to rip the mat apart. And then try and work the opposite, like as if you were trying to roll up your mat underneath you. Hugging the feet in by pressing them down. Yeah, they're really connected, the whole foot. Whew. I'm sweating while talking. You have 2 more breaths. I'm already like inching out of it. I did this pose for a long time already today though. Okay, inhale, straighten the left leg. Big breath in, turn the toes. 90 degrees. Right toes turn out 90 degrees. Big breath in, you have your other side. Breathe. I'm just going to talk to you for this one. You can do it. You're doing great. So work those opposing actions again. Like instead of letting yourself get overwhelmed in the moment of intensity and pulling your concentration out because of that, go deep into like specific focus. Can you push the mat apart? Can you rip the mat apart with your feet? Feel that activate your muscles in a different way. And then reach for the other opposite. Hug the legs in. Try and roll the mat up underneath you. Deep breath through it all. Find some softness in the jaw and the face, and the eyebrows. Stay here for 1 more. Deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Use your inhale as you press down through the right leg. Straighten it up. Heel toe the feet together. We'll find goddess pose. So the feet are a little closer than warrior 2. Knees are about over ankles. Toes are turned out slightly, and the knees follow the direction of the toes. Inhale. Hands can go wherever you want them. Yeah, they can rest here. They can come to heart. They can come out to the sides to goalpost. Breathe. So first, really work to ground down through the heels. Like you could press the heels through the floor. And already feel how that gives a little lift to the heart. Breathe. Now, imagine the opposite, that you could like suck energy up through the ground, through the heels, hug it into the hips. And again, the heart can lift from there. Now find both. Press down through the heels, lift up into the hips. You can stay here, or if you want a little more intensity, you lift the heels and you breathe. Oh, I only had it for a second. That's okay. You have 2 more breaths. Big breath in to straighten the legs, press into the feet, turn the toes forward, lengthen through the heart, Exhale, fold. We'll take a half lift here. Inhale. So same thing as when we're at the front of the mat. Yes, sit bones back, heart forward. Exhale to fold and hinge down. Now you have a full 10 breaths here. Spoiler alert, we are working towards headstand today in class. So if you have a headstand practice already, I encourage you to take headstand 2. Tripod, that's with 2 hands in your head. Looks like this. If that's not in your practice, you stay in your forward folds. You have about 5 more breaths. So we're shifting our perspective of opposites today. Instead of 2 sides fighting against each other, can it be 2 sides balancing each other? Keeping boundaries for each other. If you're in your headstand, start to come down. Take your time, there's no rush. When you get down, everyone will inhale, lift halfway up. Take your hands to your hips in your half lift. Finish your exhale here. Inhale, come all the way up and step to the front of your mat. Standing at the front of the mat, give yourself a moment to receive 3 big breaths through your whole body. And we'll move from here. So we'll start with some standing balancing. This opposing opposites principle is like super present in balancing. It'll help you find your center. It'll help you keep that midline of balance. So shift the weight to the left foot. Inhale, the right leg lifts for tree pose. The most obvious of opposites in tree pose is this foot on the inner thigh. So work that first. Press the inner thigh into the foot. Press the foot into the inner thigh and lengthen up through the heart. You have about 5 breaths here. Wherever your hands need to be is fine. On the hips for a little more stability. They can come to the heart. They can lift up high. You could take the arm variation that we've been working with the hands together, elbows up. And if you fall out, you come right back in. If that placement of the leg is too high, you bring it down to the calf. You can even keep the toes on the ground and the heel stays at the ankle. 2 more, in and out through the nose. So from here, we're gonna move really slowly, like super slow as you can to warrior 3. If I can get back on this leg. The knee is gonna lift, right knee lifts first, and then it starts to kick back behind you. You can take the hands out to the side for airplane as you push the heel back. So really strong, lengthen through that back leg to propel the heart forward. Super slow, start to bend the front knee like you're stepping back to crescent. As slowly as you can, hands plant, and you go to a down dog shape, but you're gonna cross the left ankle over the right thigh. So you're in a number 4 shape in your down dog, left leg crossed over right. Now lift up through both sit bones as you extend forward through the hands and breathe. The weight is gonna wanna fall over to the right side. Try and draw it back through center. Really lift up through the left side of the sit bone, or the left sit bone rather. Now, if this is a lot for you, if you are like really on the edge of your breath, then you release the pose and we'll meet you at the front of the mat. If you are in it and you want to stay in it, look forward, lift the sit bones, rise to your right toe, keep the legs as they are, and hop forward to the front of your mat. Now from here, if you want, you can take the arm balance, wrap the left toes around the right tricep, lengthen the heart forward, like really cast the heart forward, And then lift the sit bones high. Like nice and slow. The right toes, that's just like an afterthought that they lift up or extend, whatever you want to do. Work the heart lengthening forward and work the balance into the hands first and foremost. From there, we'll inhale to come all the way up. And then we're set up for tree pose on the other side. So just shift the left foot to the inside of the thigh. If you need a moment to come down, pause, breathe, step back into it. You do what is needed for your practice. 5 full rounds of breath. Find some steadiness here. I'm keeping my toes on the ground so I can find my breath. Feel the breath expand outward as much as it hugs into the core. Every time, inhale, expands outward. Exhale, hugs in. Both work together. Slowly start to shift towards your warrior 3, so the knee lifts first in front, and then you start to kick it back. Really strong through the heel behind you to lengthen through the heart. As slowly as you can, bend the right knee in front. Slow, 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 slow. And then step back to your down dog variation. Right ankle over the left thigh. Breathe. Lift up through the sit bones, especially that right sit bone. Feel how the weight wants to go to the left. Try to keep it more in the center. 3 more breaths. Now, whatever you took on the other side, you'll take again here. If you want to meet us standing at the front of the mat, you know where to go. Otherwise, you stay in your leg variation. Gaze forward. Start to shift the weight into the hands little by little. Step to the front of the mat, hop forward, and maybe play with the arm balance on this side. Keep breathing wherever you are. If you're already at the front of your mat, find chair pose, Utkatasana. That'll teach you to try the arm balance, right? Oh, I'm so funny making jokes to myself. No, I bet you're laughing. You're laughing at home, I can tell. Okay, so we'll all meet in chair pose, Utkatasana, front of the mat. Nice and low through the seat. Press the sit bones back and lengthen the heart forward. This is the only chair pose we're going to take, so make it count. Breathe. Like really sit the weight back as much as feels like it makes any sense in your body. If it stops to make sense, then you can come out a little. That's fine. 3 more breaths. Exhale, fold forward, and we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Vinyasa is there if you need it. Take an inhale, the right leg lifts high. Exhale, step all the way forward, lower the back knee down. So just like we were at the beginning of class, Anjaneyasana, we're gonna add in some variations, and I would like for you to use blocks for them if you have them. So the first use of the block is gonna go in front of the left thigh. Now we're gonna use it at like an angle that kind of looks like that. It's just gonna be there to provide a boundary for the left thigh so it doesn't like come all the way forward like this, it stays a little lifted. So if you don't have a block, you know to try to keep your leg a little bit lifted. You provide that boundary yourself. Left hand is gonna be on a block here for support. Take your right foot, heel toe it out to the right just a little bit. The toes are turned out slightly. Hand comes to the right thigh. Open up the knee and lengthen through the heart. Breathe. Now get really big in your breath and a little softer in your body. And in the midst of that softness, see if you can find a subtler version of that push and pull. So there's still action going down through your front heel. That right hamstring is still working, not as intensely as your full crescent pose, but it's still there. And then as much as the hamstring is pulling forward and down into the heel, try and draw the right sit bone back. Start to feel some length in the outer thigh. Deep breath in. One more. Inhale, big heart. Exhale, lower the hands down. Take that block away from your left thigh, and we'll set up for Hanumanasana. So heel toe the right foot into a neutral space again. So it's lined up with your right hip to knee, to ankle, to toe. And if half splits is enough for you, then you stay right here. Hips over your left knee. There's a little softness in the right knee. You lengthen the heart and fold in. Sit bone draws back, heel extends forward. If you want to go deeper, you start to take that left knee further back. And as you do so, you walk the hands back on blocks. So you stay wherever you need to stay. Like really listen to the cues from your body. Try not to be forceful in what you ask it to do. And wherever you decide to stay, make sure that you can feel a push and a pull in both directions. So press the legs outward, behind you and forward. And then at the same time, hug the legs in so you keep a little bit of a boundary for the hips. Once again, press the heels out, toes out, lengthen through the heart, hug the inner thighs in. Both are working together to create both length and action. Stay where you are. You have 3 more breaths. If you need to come out of it a little, you can do that. Just go back in. Deep breath. Finish your exhale. Inhale to come back up. Step the foot back. You choose. Hands and knees, down dog, child's pose, whatever you like to neutralize. Take 3 breaths. And from your downward facing dog, we'll take the other side. So inhale, the left leg lifts. Big step forward to the front of the mat. Lower the back knee for your Anjaneyasana. Find your blocks if they moved. And we'll set up the blocks on the other side. So again, finding that boundary for the front thigh. It is at an angle, right? Like we're not at a 90-degree angle here. It is leaning forward. It's just not like infinitely leaning forward. Other block goes under the right hand. Left foot steps out to the left slightly. Toes turn out. Breathe. Twist to the left just slightly. Lift up through the heart and open. In and out through the nose. Fill the pose with breath in both directions. Remember, you're a little lighter physically now. Less force. Try to use the awareness of your breath instead. One more deep breath in. Deep breath out. You'll exhale to release. Bring the hands down in front of you. Take that block away from your right thigh and start to straighten the left leg. Draw the hips back. So we all start in this half splits. No locking through the left knee the whole time, right? Like it's gonna wanna start to get locked. Keep a little softness in it. Make sure you can feel the muscles. Make sure you can still use them. Slowly, little by little, inch that back knee back. And just to be clear, like we're not opening up the hips when we do that. That's like how we all worked gymnastic splits. This is yoga splits. It's quite different. The right hip is going to stay squared forward. As you take the knee back, you walk the hands back on blocks and make sure you can still feel. Press out through the feet. Can you still work that action? Hug the legs together. Can you feel the hips drawing in? If one of those disconnects, if you can't feel that anymore, come out of your pose a little bit. Like just give yourself a little more space to work that from the inside. 5 full rounds of breath. Big breath in, full body, full exhale out. Start to lift yourself up, nice and slow. Step the foot back, shake it out. Come to seated on your heels, hands rest on your thighs, face up or face down. Close your eyes and receive. So you immediately go into the intensity of feeling, of sensation. Let it wash over you. And we're going to work headstand. So nobody has to stand on their head. If you have neck injuries, yeah, I'll provide an option along the way that you can pause at where you don't have to actually put any pressure on your head. That's fine. Nobody needs to be scared. If you want to use a wall, you can, though I totally encourage you to embrace falling in a headstand. I'm going to just do it really quick on camera right now so you can see how easy it is to fall out of a headstand. If you are coming up like this, you just somersault over. So as long as you give yourself enough space in front, I encourage you to play with this without using the wall. So we're still sitting on your heels, right? You're still sitting on your heels. I'm sitting on my heels. First, we're going to find the space on our head that's supposed to be touching the ground for a headstand. Even if you're not going to do a headstand, we're all going to do this. So we're measuring by quantities of 4 fingers. You take your one hand, pinky finger will go on the bridge of your nose. Yeah, not the tip of your nose, the bridge of your nose. Sits right there. Then you take your other hand, stack it on top, finger to finger, and one more time, stack it right in line, pinky to first finger. So that's 12 finger lengths. And then right there, right at the end of that, you can find this point in the center of your head. It's a pressure point. Push on it and push up into your finger. That's the action of headstand. So it's that back and forth. And you can see, I can even see in the video here. I can see that creates length in my neck. Yeah, that's what we're going for here. We don't want to be squished like this in our headstand. We want to have a nice, healthy cervical spine. And even here, as I'm sitting, I can feel that tendency to open forward through the center of the body. Try and draw those low ribs in again here. Press up into the hand. Okay, release. Shake it out. Coming to hands and knees to start. JK, sit back on your heels again. First, take your elbows in your hands. Yeah, this is your distance that you're going to start with. And you're going to take that to the floor. So we're really at knees and elbows. From there, take the hands in front, forearms on the ground, palms touching. Can you guys see me? Yeah, that's a little better, huh? Yeah, so hands and elbows, palms together, and really strongly press the forearms down into the ground, so much so that it lifts the heart. So the heart kind of wants to collapse. If you press into the forearms, into the backs of the wrists, the heart will start to lift and keep it in line with the shoulders. Everyone, yeah? Even if you're not doing headstand, you're still with us here. Curl the toes, lift the knees, lift the hips, and start to walk the feet in and let that point of the head, that crown of the head just hangs and is really heavy. You breathe here. This is totally fine to stay. You keep pressing through the forearms and the elbows, keep lifting through the sit bones. If you want more, you start to move the crown of the head down, keep pressing into the arms, and you lift one leg. Reach up through the heel to start to float the bottom leg up too. Breathe. Keep breathing. If you fall out, you come right back in. Press up and out through the arms, through the wrists. The head can lean, can press back into the backs of the hands behind you. Now expand it outward, right? So you're pressing through the arms, you're pressing up through the heels. Maybe the legs aren't lifted and you're just lifting up through the sit bones. That's fine too. And if you're there, then you work to feel all of that energy hugging back in. The heart stays open, the low ribs draw in. You have about 10 more breaths to work your headstand. If you're working it in the middle of the room and you keep falling out, now you have my permission to go to a wall, work it at a wall, and give yourself like just some moments of up, of inversion, where that fear of falling is just not even a factor. Give yourself a moment of that. And if you're done, you go to child's pose. Don't cut yourself out early because I gave the option. Yeah, hold yourself to your edge. Come here, kitty. I hope you guys take your nap now. She said hi. Headstand is really exposing. It's like heart open, heart forward. It can feel very vulnerable if we're not used to it. But you hold the space for yourself. You create the boundaries that support and protect and nourish your strength, your openness. Child's pose if you're not there already. Sit bones pull back towards the heels, lengthen the heart forward. Working with opposing ideas can feel really exposing. Can expose that we don't know everything, that whatever opinions we hold to don't necessarily hold all of the truth in them. Just opening ourselves to the idea that some things are more complicated, that things are not always what they appear. Slowly start to lift yourself up from your child's pose. We'll come into a comfortable seat. Oh, wait, JK, no, come forward, hands and knees. From here, you're gonna take your right foot all the way in front of the left. So you cross knee on top of knee, and then feet, instead of going behind you, they open up to the sides, and you slowly sit back behind you. If you know your hips are tight, put a block back there, you can sit on a block. Or you come all the way down to the ground. Gomukhasana. So knee on top of knee. Ankles are somewhat on the same line, right to left. Bring your hands to the heels and find a little bit of outward action. So press the heels into the hands. Not a lot, just a little bit. And then from there, imagine that you are sucking energy up through the heels into the hips. It's really like a compressed pose, so it should feel a little different. It should be a little pushback. Now, My left leg is underneath, so I'm going to lift the left arm. I think that's your side too. I think I said it right. Whatever leg is underneath, you lift that arm up. We're going to take a side bend. Big breath in, lift through the heart, side bend to the right. Keep anchoring that left side down through the hip. Breathe. Heart opens up and left. Big breath in, lift up, and exhale, fold forward. Hands can come in front, they can stay on the heels. You can bring a block underneath your third eye if you'd like somewhere to rest your head. Go into a space of reflection with your breath. Can you find insight in that back and forth, in your experience of it in your body? Slowly inhale, lift yourself up, lean forward, come off of the hips, onto the knees, onto the hands. You'll uncross the legs, shake it out, take some cat-cows, pat the feet, and we'll take the other side. So left leg lifts up and crosses in front of right. Open the heels to the sides and slide the hips back to find your seat. Sit up nice and tall, hands to the heels. Find just a little bit of pressure, press the heels into the hands. And then try and suck that energy up through the legs into the hips. Hips get really heavy, heart gets lifted. Soften the jaw, soften the throat. Inhale, the right arm lifts or whatever leg is underneath. Exhale, take your side bend. Deep breaths. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold forward. Big breath. Like however distracted your mind feels, make your breath bigger. Make your breath take up more space than those thoughts. Inhale to lift yourself up. Lean back and uncross the legs from here. Shake it out. Legs straight in front of you. Go this way for you so you can see. Take your hands underneath your legs, your hips, your butt. It's really your butt. What am I saying? Pull your butt back and out, both sides. So you're really on your sit bones and like your flesh is more out to the side. Toes lift up. There's a little softness in the knees here, no locking. Hands to the sides of the legs, come up on fingertips. So you're already, because of fingertips, you're like already engaging some softness in the shoulders. The heart is gonna lead the way forward. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Shoulder blades down the back, heart lengthens forward. When you get to your fullest extension here, then the hands come forward. They can come to the shins. They can come to the outer edges of the feet. When you find that spot, again, then you engage the arms, shoulder blades down the back, lengthen the heart forward, then fold all the way to your pose. Chin to chest. 5 full breaths. Feel extension forward through the heels, evenly through the balls of the feet as well. Sit bones reach back behind you. Heart lengthens and softens, especially the back of the heart behind you. Find more softness there. Inhale, slowly roll yourself up, and then slowly, slowly, slowly go roll yourself down. Arms are there for support. Hug the knees into the chest, give yourself a squeeze, and then drop the arms open, take a gentle twist. Knees to the right, gaze to the left. Soft, easy twist. Inhale, lift up through center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale, lift up through center. Give yourself one final squeeze. Hug in, third eye towards your knee. Everything wrapping in on itself, on itself, on itself, on itself. And exhale, release. Savasana. Legs extend, just slightly apart, arms slightly away from you, palms face up. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth, exhale, let it go. Soften everything onto the ground. Everything releases. Every single muscle softens. The breath is barely noticeable, it's barely there. And as much as you embraced living, like movement, breath, action, strength, muscle, all of the work of life that was in your pose, work the opposite here of letting go. No more effort. Just be. Take rest for a few minutes all together here, and I will call you out of it. Without moving your body, deepen your breath. So the breath is the first thing to grow. When it grows to its bigger, fuller size, let it initiate movement in your fingertips, your toes, starting with those outer edges and letting the movement grow inward. Wrists, ankles, rocking the head side to side, legs, arms. Take a full body stretch, arms overhead, feet together. Inhale. Exhale, release, and hug your knees in towards your chest. Roll to whichever side you feel drawn towards today. And pause once you've rolled to your side in a fetal position. So whatever arm is underneath you, that'll be like a pillow under your head. The other arm crosses in front of your heart on the floor like this. Great. And pause there. Like really let your practice feel settled in your body. Like it's memory that you are transcribing into your physical form. And then be really protective of how soft your belly is right here. Like keep all of that softness so you lean forward and use the strength of your arms while you keep your body like just draping over that strength to lift up. Find a comfortable seat. Hands in front of the heart. Ever so slightly lean into the back of the heart, like just a little bit. Lift up through the heart. And ever so slightly, the head bows to the heart. So the heart lifts towards the brain bows towards the heart. With great love. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for joining. I'm super proud of all of you. We didn't have a single drop off during Shavasana. You all stayed for Shavasana, so I love you for that. I love you for practicing with us. If you haven't already, there's a donation link in the event that was made for this for tonight. And if you can't find it, maybe just message p.o.m.e on Facebook or just message me and I can send you the link directly, or you can post in the comments here and we can figure out how to make sure to get it to you. But donations go towards those affected by the COVID crisis. If you're not following p.o.m.e, Product of My Environment, please do. They do amazing things for their communities all across the country. I'm based in Seattle, but I know we have people in Denver and Colorado. We have people in Michigan. We have people in Vermont. We have people all over. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for practicing. If you have questions or comments, I'd love to hear from you. Please hit me up later. Have a great night.